welcome back to another LEGO Unbox, Unbag and Build per bag. This time I'm here with set 75302, the Imperial Shuttle. It was released on March the 1st, 2021, has 660 pieces, is rated ages 9 plus and comes with 3 minifigs. The set retails for €79.99 in euros, $69.99 in pounds and also $69.99 in dollars, which is a kind of strange comparison there, but you know, it is what it is. So here we have the 2021 Imperial Shuttle, the 5th shuttle released and probably the ugliest. That being said, the 2001 version doesn't exactly age well, but look, I know that LEGO wanted to make their products more affordable, but if it comes at the expense of quality, then is it really good enough? Like, not to mention LEGO's motto, you know. I got the January 21 wave and was disappointed by most of it, so like, let's just hope that this one isn't as bad as it looks. On now to the rest of the box. You'll see on both sides there's the Greebling, which I thought was Greeveling, but it's actually G-R-E-E-B, whatever. And then you have pretty much the same on that side with the LEGO Life logo. On the underneath you will see, it's upside down of course, but it's just a small print. And on the top then you will see the typical 1-for-1 minifigure and the name in different languages. Now on to the back of the box, you will see some nice stuff there. You'll see the ship in another angle of course, and you'll see about 4 action boxes which show you different functions of the set. Also then you will see the play it in the LEGO Star Wars Skywalker Saga, which has been on every set since August 2020. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can really show you about the box. And from the back of the box to the unbox. Now let's see what we got in here. Big enough build, we've got 5 bags so far. By the look of things. Yeah, let me just lay them out for you. So here we see 6 numbered bags. Every single one has a smaller bag inside full of smaller pieces. And we see 1 instruction book that is actually in a little sleeve of its own, which is definitely nice to see there. I love when they do that. Also, it's notably portrait instruction book rather than a landscape instruction book. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get on to bag number 1. So bag number 1, we don't have anything too crazy in. We have these big Technic bricks here of course, and we have these kind of more unusual pieces that these bits click together and then they kind of click up and down, and that's probably going to have something to do with the wings. But otherwise doesn't seem to be an awful lot of crazy pieces in there. Some nice colours, we see a nice red in there and a nice yellow in there. We also of course see our brick separator and our Imperial officer or Imperial pilot. I'm not quite sure what his name is actually. And in our small side then we see the pistol for the pilot, and not an awful lot of crazy pieces in here. This piece is actually quite interesting because it's got 2 vertical studs rather than the typical 1 horizontal and 1 vertical, so that is quite interesting there. Otherwise it does seem to be standard enough kind of pieces there as well. Nice colours in it though. I don't remember seeing any red in the Imperial Shuttle, but you know, it's probably going to be hidden or on the interior or something. But yeah, that's it for the bag overview. Let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 1 we have some of the inside done. I think this is all the interior we're going to get by the looks of things. And then we also have these 2 on the side, which are definitely for the wings to go up and down because they have that kind of clicky motion there. So that's pretty much where we are so far. This also is probably where the top foil like slots onto and then like bends up and down with, but yeah, we'll figure that out later. Also then you got your spare parts here, not a lot, but yeah, that's what we have. And then we have the Imperial officer here as well. But yeah, that's it for bag number 1. Let's get on to bag number 2. So here we have bag number 2. In the big side, there doesn't seem to be anything too crazy. Maybe this is kind of interesting, but the kind of weirdest piece in this bag would be this piece here with 2 kind of Technic, I don't know, rods or tubes on the back of it there, rather than 1, which we're kind of more used to seeing. There's 2 of those pieces in there. We also see some stud shooters in this. Notably, we're making the cockpit in this part, and there's no printed tiles, so that's kind of worrying. But maybe it comes in the next bag, I don't know. Here you have your small bits, and again, nothing too crazy in this side either. You can see there's a kind of like little kind of tubes there and stuff. But again, nothing too crazy. Let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 2, and we have a lot more of the inside kind of done, but not even the inside, like the inside was already finished. We've just kind of finished off some of those little pieces like here, and like tiled off some things here. We've added on a lot of the cockpit. I think, to be honest, that is all the cockpit, because there's no space for anything else to really get added on, so I don't think there will be a printed tile in there in the cockpit. So that's just another kind of point against it for detail and fun, I suppose. But yeah, that's pretty much all we have. We didn't get any figures in this bag, and we have 2 spare pieces there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for bag number 2. Let's get on to bag number 3. So bag number 3, and we do see some interesting pieces here. We see the translucent bit that's hollow on one side, so it's like flat on this side, and then it's kind of like there's a hollow kind of bit in this side. Then also we see the printed piece there, which is nice to see, and we see this kind of quarter pyramid kind of job. Also then we see Luke in this bag. Otherwise though, not an awful lot of crazy pieces in there. The small side is pretty much the same there. We see not an awful lot of crazy pieces. We do see some nice pieces like that kind of triangular piece there. And we see Luke's lightsaber hilt and blade in this packet, so that's kind of nice as well. But that does it for the overview. Let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 3, we have the cockpit kind of shield, or the cockpit kind of outer area folds up, and we also have the mechanism to take up the top foil. But that's pretty much all we did there in that bag. I don't think anything, no, nothing was on the bottom there. We also then have Luke Skywalker with his like shackles as well. And then we also have the spare pieces here. Not an awful lot, but some nice pieces there, definitely. And yeah, that's pretty much it for bag number 3. Let's get on to bag number 4. So, bag number 4, and we have some nice colours in there. Nothing too crazy on the line of like types of pieces. Maybe this is a little bit interesting. And we have some really nice kind of translucent 4x1 tiles there. That's very nice to see in there. And again, some nice colours. We've got some reds in there and some yellows. That piece is kind of unusual, maybe, this piece, but you know, otherwise nothing really that crazy. In our small side then, we've got some more translucent blue pieces, which is nice to see. No printed tiles, and again, nothing too out there, nothing too wild. But yeah, that's the overview for bag number 4. Let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 4, we have the sides here. I'm not sure what to call them, but the sides. Obviously enough where the wings get attached there towards the last bag. You got some of the guns from the front there. You got the exact same on the other side there. It is symmetrical essentially. And then we have the back kind of piece done as well, like the kind of engines there at the back, and engines or thrusters, I'm not sure what to call them, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Not a massive bag, it didn't really take that long. So far the build is fairly standard. It's not exactly like great in the sense that it's not like, it just doesn't really look finished in certain places that I know I'm not going to go back to, you know. And it just, I mean, it does, the price reduction does show a small bit, but I still think not as much as the X-Wing. I think maybe the TIE Fighter is up the top, then this is the middle, and then the X-Wing under that then, you know. It's not the worst, but I mean, there is still just a few things that I can't really get past. No spare parts for this bag at all, because there was no real small pieces in it, less than 1x2 tile. And yeah, let's get on to bag number 5. So bag number 5 here, and we see the cape comes in a box first off, and then we also see bits of Darth Vader around the place as well. We see some nice kind of tiles, like I think this is no tile, it's not new by any means, but it's just unusual a little bit. I think I seen it in the ATTE, if I'm not mistaken, in a different colour. It may have been a different piece with just one stud on the top of it, but one way or another, it's a nice piece to see coming in here. And otherwise, standard enough pieces. We've got this piece that we don't really see in Star Wars quite a lot, but it was kind of, you know, one of the classic pieces in a different colour. Nothing too crazy in this side now from that onwards. And then we got 2 small bags, one here and one there. With the small bags, again, nothing too crazy. No printed tiles or anything. We can see Darth Vader's underside of his mask and the spare piece for that. We also then see the lightsaber hilt up around that side as well. And just some standard enough like vents and Technic pieces and a few small bits there on the right side as well. So that's pretty much it for bag number 5. Let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 5, we have the main foil there, and we have like the kind of 2 side panels here done up as well. I think there was another part. Yeah, we did this part as well. But yeah, that's pretty much all we did now in this bag. I will say I really don't like these Technic kind of whatever they're called. Are they rods? Are they something? Well, I don't know what they're called. They're not particularly bricks, but they're just those rounded kind of pieces. And I really don't like the look of them in there. I can overlook that though. Like, I mean, otherwise it is actually looking fairly well. I mean, there's the gap there that should be there, you know, and there's like a few features that are, you know, accurate enough, but the main problem would just be the underside there. That chin would be just really not good looking. But to be honest, other than that, looking from the top, it doesn't seem to be as bad as I thought it would be. Also then we have Darth Vader in this bag, and we have a small amount of spare pieces there as well. And yeah, that's it for bag number 5. Now let's get on to bag number 6, the final bag, and see what we have with that. So the 6th and final bag, here we see nothing crazy at all by any means. I think all of these pieces are fairly standard. There's some nice pieces in there, but like really nothing that we haven't seen before. This is nice to get that in white. I think half the reason this set would be more expensive than it should be is the fact that it is all white. So that probably those kind of pieces as well would probably be adding on to the value there, of course. On the small side then, we can see some nice kind of translucent green studs there, and we can also see some translucent yellow ones that are going to be used for the lights. Otherwise, just standard kind of Technic pieces and rods and stuff. There is just notably only one printed element in the entire set, and that was this piece here. But like otherwise, there is no printed tiles or bricks, or no printed tiles for in here either. So that is just notable, I suppose. But yeah, let's get on to the build. So at the end of the 6th and final bag, we have the thing finished. We just literally did the wings there on the last bag. That's all we added on to it this time. We have no minifigures for the last bag, and we have essentially one spare part. So one of these is a spare part, because with each stud shooter you get 2 ammunition for each one. So you've got one in each one and one there spare for each one. So that we have one spare piece there. And here we have the spare pieces for the entire set. Some nice pieces there. We got a lightsaber hilt, of course, and we got some handcuffs there as well, so that's nice to see there. I will say that the build is, it's easy enough, but it's better than I thought it would be. The shuttle in the end looks a lot better than I thought it would be, and the build wasn't actually as bad as I thought. You know, it did end up surprising me. So that is a good thing. Then of course we have our 3 minifigures there in the background, and our brick separator. I mean, I can't really say an awful lot about it other than the fact I am very pleasantly surprised with it. With the wings open, it does look alright. Like, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, I can't really show you because I only have one hand at the moment. From the underside, completely underside, you don't notice it because of depth and all. But from the very top, it actually looks quite okay. It's just that chin piece there is definitely a problem. Like, but yeah, no, I'm pleasantly surprised with the entire set. Really, I am. Just to give you a look at the back of the instructions now, you'll see that it shows you how to use the stud shooters, and it shows you that if you pull this back and push this in here, you can take up the top foil there to see what's inside. And yeah, that's it. That shows the end. It shows some of the early waves from 2021. It shows an ad for the Lego game coming out and the typical inventory list. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks a million for watching my video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below if you think there's anything that needs to be said. Thanks a million, guys. See you again. Take care.